I want to show you how to be more productive in the morning and without relying on caffeine. So if you are a high performer, business owner, you want to get more stuff done in the morning, watch this. What's going on, guys? Yuri Elkaim here, founder and CEO of Healthpreneur. We help health practitioners and coaches get more clients and scale their coaching businesses online. And you can have all the tactics, all the strategies in the world, but if you can't execute on those, it's all for naught, right? So one of the levers that I think all of us have at our disposal, really the difference between those who achieve amazing results and those who don't, I believe it comes down to how they lead themselves. Right? Are you able to get the stuff done you need to get done? So what I want to share with you here are 5 things to be more productive in the morning. Why do I have any authority to share this with you? Well, if you've watched any of my other videos, you kind of know who I am. If you don't know who I am, then I've been at this for a very long time. I've been in business for nearly 20 years, online since 2006, built multiple 7-figure companies, helped hundreds of thousands of people, and written a lot of books, put out a lot of stuff. I think I've created a lot of stuff in my life. As an example, I've written 3 published books, not ebooks, but actually like published books with Hay House, Rodale. One of them became a New York Times bestseller. And I wrote those 3 books in the space of 4 months. And by contrast, a lot of my colleagues in the health space would take a whole year and isolate themselves in a cave to write a book. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but I want to share with you exactly how I was able to write 4 books. If we combine the word count or the page count in those books, we're close to 1,000 pages of a published book in 4 months. How did I do it? Well, how I did it was by the 5 things I'm going to share with you here is exactly how I did it. So I'll come back to the exact thing I did at the end of this video, so keep watching, but without any further ado, let's jump right in. So the first thing you have to understand is you have to have a very clear and vivid and emotionally compelling reason and vision for what it is you want to do in life. So if you have no purpose for getting out of bed in the morning, you're not going to get out of bed in the morning. And it's important to, as the leader of first and foremost your life, and second your business, if you're a business owner, you have to have a vision that really just it pulls you. It's not like you're pushing a boulder up a hill. It's like it's pulling you every day. It's pulling you towards that thing. So it's pulling you out of bed, metaphorically speaking. So really spending the time, if you haven't already, to really think about what is that vision? What is that vision for me? As an aside, we have this thing called the Focus Planner. Actually, I created it for myself first and foremost because I wanted a better tool to plan out my days and my life, etc. And one of the first things that we do in this planner, by the way, if you wanted to, you can grab a copy of it. We'll include the link below. So one of the first things we do here is right there. It's called your best life number. And this is an exercise that really helps you clarify what it is you want in life. So the things, the experiences, all that kind of stuff. And the reason we do this is because when you're clear on exactly what it is you want and how much it's going to cost you, and you break it down to what you need to generate in your business to make that happen, all of a sudden you have a very clear, bite-sized, actionable plan to make that a reality. It gets you excited. It shows you, it connects the big vision from the things you can do on a daily basis. So it's a really cool tool that we use in the Focus Planner to help you not only craft that vision, but also connect the big vision to what you can start doing today. Because a lot of times we get overwhelmed or we get lost or we feel disconnected from the thing we want to create because it's out there. It's it's in the clouds. So this is a really powerful exercise to help you get excited about your vision again, if that's something that's kind of eluded you a little bit. So the first thing is to have a compelling vision, a big reason why that's going to get you out of bed in the morning. That's going to have you do the things you need to do. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is very simple. It's at the end of your day is you plan out your next day. Now, like in the Focus Planner, as an example, so we have, by hour setup, but the most important thing really is this page right here, which is 3 priorities. So when I say plan your next day today. So end of your day, whenever you finish work, you take a few moments to plan out what are the top 3 priorities for tomorrow. And this is important because if you wake up in the morning and you're then asking yourself, what am I going to do today? You've already lost the battle, right? You want to go to bed at night knowing what you're doing tomorrow, right? Fail to plan or plan to fail, right? Fail to plan to fail. That whole saying, it's the same idea here, is that if you can go to bed at night and you know exactly what you're working on tomorrow, you've already won the day. Like seriously, at least half the battle. And with that said, it's the 3 most important things. So this is where really important leadership qualities. And, I've got a lot of videos on leadership that you can check out as well. But one of the things when it comes to leadership is the ability to identify what actually matters. And you are a leader of your own life at the very minimum, right? Even if you don't lead a big team, you might have a solo business or, you're doing your thing. You are leading your life, and your ability to decide what is important and what isn't is very important for you to spend some time thinking about. So on a daily basis, think about what is going to generate more income for my business, right? How do I share more with my audience? How do I build my audience? How do I generate more leads? Whatever those things are, the big needle movers in your business, those should be the top 3 priorities that you're going to be doing on a daily basis. Identify those, write those out the night before, and then the next morning when you wake up, you know exactly what you're working on. Okay, so that's the second thing, is write out top 3 priorities the day before, the night before, so you wake up the next morning ready to go. Third thing is, as Brian Tracy talks about in his book, Eat That Frog, is do your most important work first. The biggest of those 3, the one thing you're like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. It's hard. It requires a lot of brain power. That's the thing you need to do first. The thing that's going to be the thing that you want to procrastinate on, the thing that you want to delay, the thing that's like heavy lifting, that's the most important thing usually. And you want to get that done first thing in the morning when your battery is fully charged, right? When you've woken up after a good sleep, you're ready to go. And that's when you get to work. That's when you get your most important stuff done. Not after you've meditated and worked out and all that kind of stuff. And listen, I've done all the morning routines, and what I'm sharing with you has worked for me. I know everyone has a different process, but I can promise you this: the longer you delay getting into your most important work, the tougher it's going to be. And so for me, I get out of bed, and I'll share that, what my morning routine looks like in a second. And the first thing I do after I drink water, get my coffee ready, etc., is I get right into my most important work. Because if I start going into Gmail, social media, it's game over. Okay, I'm going to share something I use for helping me prevent that in just a second. But the third secret here, okay, is to get into your most important work first thing. Okay, you're going to have way more creativity, more energy, more brain power, and by early in the day, you'll have your most important stuff done. And so even if you have the rest of the day off, it's a huge, huge win. So that's the third piece. The fourth piece is what I just alluded to, is doing whatever you possibly can to avoid falling into the trap of checking email, social media, all that kind of stuff. It is one of the biggest derailers of productivity. So here, I'm going to give you 2 things. Number 1 is, if you've got a phone, never sleep with it by your bed, ever. That's it's a no-no, right? So at night, here's a couple things you can do. Turn off the phone, power off the phone, okay? Because in the morning, if you were to go to your phone, you have to power it on. That's one more step, one more friction point to actually using it. If it's on, it's easy just to swipe up and look at it, right? So power it off. If you have a challenge dissociating from your phone, give it to someone else in your house and let them hide it so you can't even find it until you want to have access to it the following day. That's pretty powerful. So that's with respect to the phone. Don't check your phone first thing in the morning. Turn it off, hide it, don't even know where it is. Second thing is, I'm going to recommend using an app called SelfControl. It looks like a skull and crossbones. I believe, well, it's for Mac at least. I don't know if they have it for PC. And listen, if you're on a PC, what world are you living in anyways, right? So get a Mac. I don't work for Apple. I can care less. Anyways, the app is awesome because what it will do is you can tell it which websites you do not want access to for certain times. So I will populate that with, and it actually pre-populates it with most of the social media sites and email sites. So that's helpful. And then what you do is you determine how much time you want that to run for. You press go and it blocks all of those websites. So you can't physically actually check your email or go to Facebook or anything while that's running. The reason this is so powerful is because environment will always trump willpower. Okay? If you don't believe me, you could have all the willpower in the world, but if you've got donuts sitting on the counter at home, eventually you're going to eat a donut. I like donuts, so I don't bring them in the house. So we want to set up our environment to win, and that means do not even allow yourself to be distracted. So using self-control, you can set it up for 24 hours or up to 24 hours. So let's say you finish work at 4 o'clock on Monday. I would recommend you set the app at that time, starting at 4 o'clock, for whatever amount of time you want it to then kick in the next day. So let's say you want to get up in the morning, get your most important stuff done the next day. 12 hours would be 4 a.m. You're like, okay, I need more time. Let's say 18 hours. So that would be, I don't even know, 8 a.m. the next day. Your computer would not allow you to access any of those websites until 8 a.m. the following day. Okay, it's really powerful. I'm serious, because your genius has nothing to do with the internet. If you're writing a post, if you're writing a book, if you're shooting, like this video I'm shooting, I'm not even connected to the internet. Like the process here is I'm shooting a video, it sits on my desktop. Then when I'm ready, we throw it up on the internet. That's how it goes. So the creation or the sharing of your idea does not require you to be connected to the internet. So you don't need the internet in your most creative time. When you're ready to distribute that stuff, then you can connect to whatever platforms and let it do its thing. So SelfControl is a really powerful app. It's going to help you remove the distractions and set up your environment to win. That's the fourth piece, is no social, no email, no phone for the first couple hours in your day. That's like productivity 101. And the final piece here is go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day. Every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It is one of the single most important things you can do to improve your energy. In my New York Times bestselling book, The All Day Energy Diet, in addition to the nutrition stuff I talk about, I said, like, listen, the one thing that will really just reestablish normal functioning of your body is going to bed and waking up at the same time every single day. It is one of the most fundamental things we can do as humans, just like the sun going, like rising and setting. Our circadian rhythm is the same thing, very similar. So when I say go to bed and wake up at the same time, I'm talking about go to bed before 10, wake up before 6. There's magic in going to bed earlier, right? You spend more time in deep sleep, which is good. And I'm telling you, one of the most important things you can do in your life is get up earlier. I get up at 4 a.m. every single day. Sorry. Normally, I get up at 4 a.m. every single day. The last couple of weeks, I've kind of taken a step back from that because we moved, and I don't know. I'm just in a kind of a little bit of a reprieve from that momentarily. But normally, I wake up at 4 a.m., actually 3:48 every single morning, every single day, 7 days a week. I've got 4 kids at home, okay? So I have to get up early because it allows me to get my most important stuff done. You might hear the occasional scream from my little guy, Julian, right? That's an example of why it's tough to get focused work done when you have a lot of stuff happening around you. So early morning is magic time. I don't care if you're a night owl, morning person, you can train yourself to be a morning person, and I don't care what anyone says. There's no way you will have more brain power at 10 o'clock at night than you will at 5 in the morning. Seriously, okay? So get up earlier. I recommend getting up before 6. If you can get up even before that, think about this. If you typically get up at 7 and you get up 1 hour earlier, so let's say you get up at 6 a.m., that's 30 extra hours you've given yourself in a month. Now, I'm not saying you're staying up an hour later or you might have to go to bed a bit earlier. But what I'm saying is you're adding 30 hours of productive work time to your calendar. That's 365 hours a year. That's I don't even know what the math is. That's 2 months of full-time work, maybe-ish. That's significant. So let me finish this by sharing exactly how I wrote 3 published books in the space of 4 months. Is I talk about getting up early. I talk about getting your most important stuff done. First thing, what I did is 7 days a week. I woke up at 5, or I woke up just before 5, and I wrote from 5 until 7 every single day without fail. And that's how I wrote my 3 books in 4 months. The nice thing about that is that it didn't impact other activities in my business. So I didn't have to take time during the day to do all that stuff. I'm like, cool, this is kind of an additional thing. I'm going to spend 2 hours every single day, first thing in the morning to write. And that's how I did it. You want to get anything done, you get it done first thing in the morning. Promise you, it's the single most important thing you can do in your business. You will feel so much better about yourself. And listen, if you want to start the day with coffee, that's totally up to you. Listen, I enjoy a nice cup of coffee. If you do as well, that's awesome. But caffeine is not the secret to being more productive. It's a nice little adjunct, but the 5 things I've just shared with you here are going to make a day and night difference for how you live your life, how you produce in your business, and the results you see as a result of that. If you've enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel. We've got tons of other stuff to help you grow an amazing business. Secondly, if you want to get more stuff done, procrastination is something that you probably need to kibosh. I have a very close personal story to procrastination, which I'll share somewhere else. But I actually have a video that I'd recommend you watch next, which is how to stop procrastinating. Really the 2 things you need to do that. It's actually an abbreviated clip from one of my talks from stage. You can click the link below, watch that next. I think it'll be really useful for you considering you're here talking about being productive and getting stuff done. So I'd recommend watching that next. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Hope you have an awesome day.